So with Sigma Recovery, really what that does, it focuses on large platform companies. And what that means is companies that have 8 or more facilities throughout the US, the North American platform, even globally. And what we do is we partner with them and help them manage those assets once they become decommissioned, or in other words, once they become idle and removed from the production line. We step in and we help them make a determination on a piece of equipment so it doesn't get stored in their warehouse, stored outside in their storage trailers. We can help them do evaluation on what the return for that piece of equipment is. So for Sigma Recovery, really looking at the life cycle curve for them to see, compared against purchasing new, where can they use the return on their used equipment. So we start at the top of the curve. So it's really based against buying something new to be able to redeploy a piece of equipment. So if you have a facility in Maine that is using a box taper, say, and a facility that belongs to that company is in Florida and they really need that, we can simply redeploy that piece of equipment, whether it's located at that facility or if it's stored here centrally within Sigma equipment. We can redeploy that. And based on the return of new, that budget can have time savings as well as being able to cost savings of buying new. So we can simply turn that piece of equipment, get it shipped to that new location while it's all being tracked in our software. And then once you redeploy something, if redeployment is not the best measure, we can look at reselling that equipment to the open market on the used dealer market. And where that really comes in is being able to look at that piece of equipment. We would like to bring it here and house it centrally. So that way we can triage that piece of equipment, place it through our cleaning wall, our assessment, our inventory, and then be able to market that piece for our client. And then once we sell that, bring that return back to the client. And after you look at resale to the open market, we may look at auction opportunities. So we're down looking now kind of compared to new, kind of about that 20 to 40% return on an auction. So this really works well if a client has a facility that maybe they're going through and redoing production lines, or maybe they're closing a facility and they really need to liquidate that equipment. This is where our auction comes in. We can come in, we handle the whole project from cataloging that equipment, doing the evaluation, the marketing, all the way through the checkout, loading it on the trucks to the buyers, and being able to walk away with that quick liquidation return. And then once we look at going into the auction part of the sales, we can look at a piece of equipment if it's really at its life cycle end, or it's such a piece of proprietary piece of equipment, those components and all those parts, those MRO parts, are worth very good money. So we can recycle it and we can return back to our client from a sustainability standpoint, the report that shows what all the parts were worth and what we can pay them out, all the way down to the weights and types of metals, so that they can see a return on that as well. So once you're making that decision to decommission a piece of equipment, remove it from production, what do you do next with that piece of equipment? And that's what we want to be able to help you with. Find that value in that piece of equipment to be able to see where at in the life cycle that we can bring you value back so that it's not sitting somewhere being cannibalized by somebody taking parts from it, or the weather causing damage to that piece of equipment, or the longer it sits, the more value it loses. So we really come in to help see where you can bring value back to that piece of equipment after you decommissioned it.